It's me, it's OWP. I'm your host, CW. Thank you so much for listening to the O Wrestling Podcast. Make sure to hit that bell on YouTube and subscribe to the podcast on any and all platforms like Spotify or Amazon Music or Apple or whatever. We're everywhere. Tell a friend, tell your grandma if she likes wrestling. Or if you have anyone in your life who just needs a soothing voice in their life, give them the link and help out the show. We need listeners. Anyway, I'm on a tag team kick today. I wanted to address the elephant in the room. The men's tag team championships. What's going on with those? Huh? We had such a beautiful build-up to WrestleMania with the Usos becoming the longest reigning tag champs and dropping the belts to underdogs KO and Sami Zayn, who found each other as best friends once again, and they triumphed in a spectacular fashion, beating the Usos and becoming the new undisputed tag team champions. And since then, the tag team championships have been less than important. Let's be honest. I don't find KO and Sami Zayn to be interesting tag champions. And it has a lot to do with their booking. It has a lot to do with the Kevin Owens attitude thing they got going, where he's just really mad all the time and screaming. And I don't understand what that is or why that is or what the payoff to that is. And it's just like they tell him, hey, just yell at everyone until you get a match and then you just get angry and beat them up. That's not a storyline. That's just a quirk. He has like Tourette's now, and I'm not sure where that's going. And now that he's injured, and it seems like they're trying to put Sammy on the shelf for a while so that they don't, question what they're going to do with the tag titles. If they're willing to vacate the women's tag titles and kind of put when one person is injured on a team, why don't they do that with these tag titles? And I only ask because it doesn't seem like they've had any real direction for the tag titles since the Bloodline. And I would argue that they should have left it on the Usos. Now, they have a whole thing with the Bloodline going with Jimmy and Jay now in a feud that is probably going to last till WrestleMania, which is a very long time from now. But that seems to be the brother versus brother thing. And maybe they'll both get good singles runs out of this before they inevitably circle back to one another and become tag team champions again. With the New Day returning and teams like Alpha Academy, Viking Raiders, the Street Profits and their new kind of Bobby Lashley / Hurt Business / whatever this faction is, they have a lot of established tag teams that could carry the belts, but there's no particular storyline guiding that, right? Without the Usos kind of streak, that was kind of the story. Like, how long can they hold these titles? I don't know what the next storyline for these tag titles are, but there needs to be one. And I feel like with the New Day back and kind of saying, oh yeah, we're going after those tag team titles, they need to take them off of Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. And they need to do some sort of tournament or something. They have to get these tag titles on a team that's going to elevate them and kind of do something with them, right? New Day is the easy choice. Viking Raiders is a goofy choice. I think Alpha Academy is a fantastic choice. I don't think they've won tag team gold. I don't remember. But it has to go on a team that is, readily available to wrestle and one that has like some sort of path. Like Sami Zayn and KO's path ended at WrestleMania. That was their story. And that's kind of my point with babyface tag champs or even champs in general. It's hard to get them to the, through, right? It's hard to kind of keep them interesting. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens' whole story and their whole appeal was that they were fighting a losing battle against a superior force. The Bloodline they had the numbers, they had the unified champ on their side, they had Paul Heyman talking them up, they had everything. in their favor. And Sami Zayn and KO were just like battling uphill, trying to get to these tag champs, trying to dismantle the bloodline as best they could. And when they figured out that they could do it together as a tag team, they went about it and they got to WrestleMania and they overcame the odds and they won the championship. And yay, everyone was super happy and it was great. And then nothing happened because they had no mountain to climb. They're already at the top of the mountain. And once you're a babyface with a championship, it's really hard to keep you interesting. They were beating tag teams that should have posed a larger threat, like, you know, on SmackDown and stuff. Like they had I think a tag team championship match against the Street Profits before the Raw and SmackDown draft, and they beat them soundly for nothing. They gave that win away that could have been a pay-per-view match, right? And now we're at this position where it's like, well, who's left to take the titles off these guys? Like, what heel tag team? And then I think they trotted out Pretty Deadly, and they took an L. And it's like everyone was just taking L's to the team to kind of keep the belts on them, but on SmackDown and Raw and stuff. And I'm like, what are you guys doing to these tag team belts? You're wasting all that good stuff that the tag team championships had attached to it. With the Usos' longest reigns, it feels so long ago that the tag team championships were like on par. Finally, what Xavier Woods had been preaching happened, where the tag team championships were on par with the undisputed championship, where, you know, the undisputed champion is the best singles wrestler, and then the tag team champions were the best duos. They were on the same level, and now it's so not the case. As they refresh the belts for, you know, the heavyweight champ and the unified champ, the tag team championships are still stuck in like these weird limbo where they're literally still carrying around both blue and maroon belts instead of getting new championships to say that they're unified, designs that would align them with the new champ. I just feel like the men's championship is not getting the hype that it needs, and it could be that someone else is in charge of the tag division. It could be they just don't know what to do. It could be Kevin Owens' injury. I don't know what it is, but both the women and the men's tag division are not holding up well at the moment. And there are so many amazing teams that, I don't know, could do something, right? I don't know what it is. I'm of the mind that the tag championship should be defended at very specific pay-per-views that you get a build to, right? So you have a sort of tournament that it's like, we're working towards the yearly tag team championships or whatever. And each team gets, you know, formulated, and they work together, and they work through the brackets, and they get through all the you know, the stipulations, and they do the ladder matches, and they do the tag team thing, and they build rapport with the crowd, and then they work their way towards whatever the pay-per-view is, whether it's like 2 or 3 times a year that these championships are defended. And then you have like this basis for people to get excited. Like the WWE did something, I think it was last year, where they did the IC title World Cup, right? They had a tournament, they crowned a champ, and that champ got a shot at the IC title, and Gunther, I believe it was Ricochet who won. Why don't they do stuff like that with the tag team champions, right? Have these sort of long form tournaments that get you a shot at the tag team champs, and then you take your shot. And whether or not you win or not, it gives both the contender and the champions not only something to do, but some cachet, and it gives the belts weight. Anyway, what do you think about the men's tag team champion, and the women's tag team championships? Let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for listening. Make sure to subscribe, tell your grandma about the show, and don't you ever forget.
I'm your friend, but if I ever see you in the ring, I can beat you. Don't you know? Yeah, yeah, yeah.